Welcome, folks. Ladies, you can stand over there. First up is Bruce Raynor, International President of Workers United and Executive Vice President of Service Employees International Union, whose membership is 2.2 million.
Can you come forward?
Sure, we can hear you.
Thank you for being here today. We visited with the Hugo Boss workers here at the factory in Brooklyn, Ohio, as part of the campaign to tell this company that this decision is a wrong decision to close this factory. We don't intend for that decision to stand. This is a $2 billion corporation. This factory is modern. The factory is efficient. Every suit made in this factory is sold profitably. And a $2.1 billion corporation has no business closing this factory. We have told the company that. We have now won the support of unions all across America, all across Canada, and all around the world. We've won the support of prominent Hollywood celebrities who who demonstrated at the Oscars by not wearing Hugo Boss tuxedos. There was virtually not a single Hugo Boss tuxedo at the Academy Awards, which is the showcase for these clothing companies. Hugo Boss is making a bad decision. Today we met with the workers here, over 300 of them. The workers are committed to standing with their union in a fight to save these jobs. These are jobs where workers are not getting rich, they're earning a living, they have health care, and they have a pension. They're paying taxes, they're not collecting unemployment or welfare. They're not asking for handouts, they want their jobs. This multinational corporation based in Germany made a decision by executives who have never even been to Brooklyn, Ohio. Too many of those decisions have hurt too many American workers. The U.S. market is the biggest single market for Hugo Boss clothes anywhere in the world. And they talk about growing their business in the U.S. market. They will not grow their business in the U.S. market by shutting down production here in the United States. We are going to defend this factory. We're demanding the company reverse its decision. And we are calling upon citizens all across America and trade unionists and supporters all around the world. Hugo Boss is a brand, and when a brand behaves badly, people need to punish that brand. Hugo Boss needs to reverse this decision. And the workers in the union will do whatever it takes to enforce that and stand behind it. This factory shall not close. The workers are committed to it. Our union, 150,000 members of Workers United and 2.2 million members of SEIU, and 15 million American union men and women are standing behind these 370 workers. I have with me the gentleman who, very part of our union, who initiated the actions at the Academy Awards that shut Hugo Boss tuxedos out of those awards. If this company is to have a future with consumers in the United States, one of their ways to do that is to have their clothes shown in display when the world's audiences watch, like the Academy Awards. Danny Glover, activist, actor, numerous award winner in Hollywood, but more importantly, a social activist, is here with me, met with the Hugo Boss workers, toured this factory, a clean, efficient factory that can produce profitable clothes, and Danny Glover is here to stand with those Hugo Boss workers. Danny Glover.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you for those generous remarks. I'm just coming off this extraordinary visit with workers here, men and women who worked here for a number of years, who work for you, Hugo Boss, and who have pride in their jobs. They do. As I walked around that floor, walked around the factory, on the partners as they made suits, I saw men and women who work hard, who are the real backbone of this community here in Brooklyn, Ohio, who are the real backbone of this country as we celebrate workers. We're going to talk about developing new relationships, and developing a kind of caring society, a change. That's what change has to be, a caring society. Then we're going to have to talk about supporting workers, keeping jobs here. The Hugo Boss management, whoever that is, needs to come here and watch these workers and see these workers and see their commitment to the perfection that I'm sure that Hugo Boss demands of all of his products. And they're here right here. There are jobs that have to stay here, that need to stay here, and I think that's the campaign. I'm proud of my colleagues when they step to the table, and they often step to the table. We don't give artists and visible artists and performers enough credits because they often step to the table. They will step to the table and say that we care about these workers. They made a statement about caring about these workers, and I think that statement is resonating around the world. State officials here are willing to sit down at the table, sit down and talk about this. They want to see those jobs here. Cleveland's unemployment right here is somewhere around 10%, officially, unofficially somewhere around 16%. And they want to see these jobs here. We have to make a statement in terms of setting a new paradigm, shifting the paradigm, that you just can't come here, take jobs here, have jobs, working people, take those jobs, and then transport those to cheaper markets. This is one of the reasons why we're in the financial crisis that we're in. That American workers, first of all, wages have remained stagnant for a number of years. They work long hours, and they're not getting the benefits of what this American dream is. We want to see these workers, a great number of them are immigrant workers. I would talk to them and walked around and talk, where are you from? They're here not only supporting their families here, their nuclear family here, they're supporting extended families from where they come from as well. So I think it's important for us to make a statement right here. I'm simply a citizen, but all our voices count in this. Every single one of us, you know, if we want to kind of reverse what has happened and to change this whole idea of how we treat workers, how we appreciate workers, we better start. The buck stops here. We cannot sustain or believe that we can sustain the democracy that we care about, the democracy that is so precious to us, without supporting workers. And these workers are the backbone of that change that needs to happen.
Sir, what is there in your background that makes you have an affinity with these workers here?
My parents were union workers. I mean, it's extraordinary in story. And just my mother came from the Deep South. My father from the Midwest came from Kansas City, Missouri. They met in New York, and they worked. They were workers. They worked in their union, supported their union, and built a family around that. So the ideas around the union resonated in my life long before. It so happens that if you see the juxtaposition of the union and the civil rights movement, there was an incredible upsurge in citizenry that happened in this household, but it happened in millions of households around this country. You know, and that is the basis of that. And there's something else about watching men and women become the architects of their own destiny. These men and women they stand up and fight, they become the architects of their own rescue. I'm not simply here just to be here. I'm here because they stood up and said, we are going to demand justice here, and we're going to demand what's just here. There's an opportunity here. It's a real opportunity, and we have to take every point, every moment we have to ensure that we take advantage of this opportunity of bringing people together, of building communities, of building sustainable, life-affirming community. This is what this is about. I watched the relationship between workers here as they mingle, different colors, different races, different cultures, they mingle, and trying to find some place, some semblance of how they could be in a new, imaginatively, in the workplace and also in life as well.
Danny, Hollywood is always looking for lower cost filmmaking locations. Shouldn't Hugo Boss have the same opportunity?
Well, certainly that's one of the issues certainly that we have to deal with. And I'm not saying that Hugo Boss has to, I don't think we can equate the two. And certainly we have to demand that Hollywood, the producers keep those jobs there. They move them from one place in the country, they move them out of the country, they move to some of the countries that I've talked to people about. You're right. I'm not saying this is not just in terms of Hollywood as well, taking jobs away from members and crew members and families and changing that to difficult. So we have to find a way, that we address all of this whole idea of exporting jobs out beyond just making larger profits, beyond just making films cheaper. It's not right. It's not just making products not cheaper. It's not right. We have to find a way in which we begin to talk about a new kind of ethos, a new kind of ethics around what we do and how we support workers.